Understanding the motives and the causes of the Crusades, you really have to take into account many, many different groups of people and many different individuals. So we could start, for example, with the Byzantine emperor, Alexius Comnenus, who is the person who, in a way, instigates the Crusades because he asks the Roman Pope, Urban II, for a contingent of Christian knights to help him fight the Seljuk Turks. So Alexius's motive is to help to secure the borders of the Byzantine Empire. Pope Urban II, however, when he sends the contingent, he doesn't send a small group of troops. He sends a deployment of 100,000 people because he represents what's going on in Constantinople as being a threat not just to the Eastern Roman Empire, but to all of Christendom. So his motives are to increase his own authority and power within Europe, and also to extend the reach of the Roman Church in the West to the East. Moreover, he tells the Crusaders that their ultimate destination is not Byzantium, but that it's Jerusalem. So he actually extends the motivation for what the Crusades should be. He also ups the ante and sweetens the deal by telling any European that anyone who goes on this mission, who takes the cross, hence the word crusade, will either win riches and land, or else he will win an eternal reward in heaven if he dies. So obviously for the men and women, in some cases, who go on the crusade, there are material motives, but there are also, we have to stress and keep in mind, very strong spiritual motives that we can't understand anything about the Crusades unless we recognize that people had a very sincere belief. And that moreover, the Pope himself has sanctified this as a holy endeavor. So there are going to be all sorts of motives amongst these Crusaders. Unfortunately, for a lot of Crusaders, crusading begins at home and not abroad. So there are groups of Crusaders who take out their crusading fervor on existing groups of people within Europe, in particular the Jews. So there are many Jewish communities, particularly in the Rhineland between France and Germany, who are massacred by Crusaders on their way to the Holy Land, or who themselves commit suicide in order to save them, in other words, to escape being so treated. And so for the Jews, their perception of the motives of the Crusaders is that the crusade is a crusade against them. And then even within the Muslim communities of the world, the opinion is divided. There are some Muslims who consider that the Crusaders are simply greedy adventurers who want territory. But a lot of Muslims themselves fear the Seljuk Turks, who are Muslims, but they're Sunni Muslims, so there are other Muslim groups that are also fearful of them. And there are Muslims who feel that that they themselves should have helped to, in some sense, join in the Crusades, or at least united in order to keep the Seljuk Turks in check. So amongst all these different constituencies, Eastern Christians, Western Christians, Turks, Jews, there are a whole variety of opinions about what the motivations would have been.